Welcome to Rich Conversations. This is another one of our Rich Reflections sessions where we're going to take about 30 to 50 minutes out of our day to simply just think more intentionally about our own lives. And by doing these simple things and doing it repeatedly over time, it will provide a lot more clarity and direction and actions to take moving forward. So it provides a lot of value. We'll start this session, how we do every session, and that's 5 minutes of breathing. Can you handle it? I mean, this is like some high-level stuff. Most people can't do this. Just sit here, be still, and just breathe for 5 minutes. That's all we're going to do. Breathe in and breathe out. If thoughts come to mind, simply just let them pass. They're not important right now. Just 5 minutes of breathing. All right. 5 minutes of breathing. Yeah, what's the protocol on, when mosquitoes are biting you, or like if spiders are crawling on you, something like that? Do the high-level meditators simply ignore it, or do you swat it away? I felt like I did a decent job with that just now. Anyways, let's start this session, how we do every session, with the questions. And the first one is, what are we grateful for? Yeah, I'm on the farm outside. It's summer and got a nice breeze right now. And the clouds hiding the sun a little bit. Some oak trees providing some shade. Yeah, this is a great setting to just relax. We're just gonna be here. I left this pen out in the rain a few days. Not too bad. It's in pretty good shape yet. Yeah, summer's here. What colors do you imagine with summer? To me, it's green and blue. Green and blue by far. The vast blue sky and just the green landscape. I could see it, I could see like orange red, especially in, say, the Southwest. Yeah, green and blues. I always thought of Chicago as like green and blue and then gray. Gray the rest of the year. I think Chicago looks good in gray, aesthetically. But that there's so much energy with the green and blue. I was there last weekend. What about summer energizes you most? So many different choices. Gotta say, this pen that was out in the rain a little bit, it's not as smooth writing as before. I think what's cool about summer is that it opens up so many options for things to do. Just walk outside and sit down. I'm energized tonight, having a campfire with a friend. I have my wooden chair that I built, cut down 2 pignut hickory trees. Got some old barn wood, put it together. Very sturdy, heavy piece of furniture. What's something slow that we're not doing because we're going fast? And what I mean by that is, you can have ideas about what you want to do over the summer. And when things are slower, things you want to be doing, but if you don't take the time to do them, or you let your routine or other ambitions occupy most of your time, then they're not going to be completed. So last year I had a garden. Around this time last year, I did, after the 4th of July, so July 5th to August 5th. I think August 4th was the first day I could have caffeine again. I did 30 days no caffeine, and it was such a different experience living, because I'm on coffee all the time. I'm like tired right now because I didn't have my afternoon coffee. And it's like taking hold of my life, the caffeine. But without caffeine, those 30 days, it was like I could step back a little bit more. That's when I actually built the chair, because I don't feel pressured and stimulated to go do this or do that, accomplish that thing. So right now, I haven't spent as much time in my garden. I planted the garden, but haven't really done much since. We've had some good rains, so it's been good, but I just haven't dedicated the time or made time to address that, or cut down some more pignut hickory trees. There were some trees laying on the ground in the woods in the winter that I saw, and I kept meaning to take a walk and make notes, put some flags around it, whatever. And it was spring, and I'm like, oh yeah, I should do that in the next couple days. And then 2 days later, I went back in the woods, and there was so much green that I couldn't see the trees anymore. But I think those would be like a little soggy or whatever. If I cut it down, I know the wood is good. Wood is good. But it's an interesting thing. There are trade-offs in life. If you do this, you can't do that. Or dedicating time and energy towards this reduces the amount of time and energy to put towards that. So it's really important to really identify what's most important to us, our highest priorities, and make decisions and take actions along that path. I asked this question to somebody in one of our sessions a couple hours ago. What are your favorite nature things? So, what's your favorite flower? What's your favorite tree? What are your favorite colors? And her answer was lilac, purple, forest green, mountains, tulips, cedar trees. I was thinking just now about bugs. Fireflies, I think, are some of the best. What a cool evolution. What a cool thing to exist from evolution and sciences. Fireflies. You know, mosquitoes, they don't really have much value to humans in like a... Ooh, look at this spider. Holy cow. Man, this is a really jumpy spider. I've seen some interesting spiders lately. Are spiders insects? They're arachnids. Is that an insect? Butterflies. That's a cool insect. Oh, there's a hawk. I've been seeing how these hawks, I've been observing how they just float. They're just like floating in the sky oftentimes. There was this one time I saw like 5 just circling, and I was so curious of like what do they see below that they're all here. Bald eagle, twice. Seen a bald eagle twice. There's these cranes. We have a pond over there. And the way they take off, it's so majestic. They look like pterodactyls, dinosaurs. What's our favorite bug? What insect provides us the most value? Whether it's maybe you're eating some, or like fireflies, they just add this cool element to life. I feel kind of all over the place today. I've taken, I think, 3 showers already. It's been hot. And then I worked out in the middle of the day, played basketball. In the morning. And another. Just because. No, twice. Showered twice. See, I'm all mixed up today. I'd worked on something for a little bit. I released a new album. It's called Full Throttle and Idle. Country album. So I released music, and then I had a session. And then I was working on this book. And I cut grass. I cut the grass. And then I worked on the book. And then I played basketball and did some like free squats. Then I took a shower. Then I came back, had another session. Yeah. The itinerary of my day. No, I'm excited for this campfire. Disappointed I only have 1 cigar right now. Yeah, because I smoked that other one. Yeah. Should always have enough cigars for company. So, what's something about life that you feel strongly about that's like a life lesson that would be found in one of those wisdom from you when you're 80 years old? What's a wise thing about life that you have or believe? Always have enough cigars for a group of friends. Something like that. Always have more than one cigar. You know, maybe it's something about a car. Always keep this in your car. Always keep this in your purse, maybe. Always this or that. Yeah, this is beautiful weather right now. Oh, wow, look at this ant. It's so large. Is it on here? Yeah. On the edge here. That's a nice ant. So many little critters. You know, it's just something that's valuable. What we're doing right now is great. But to just be able to sit and be still, clear the mind, and just observe what's happening in the world. Be grateful for the day. Be grateful to just be where you are, you know? That right there creates this awesome filter for everything you experience, coming up afterwards. Just in life, you do it enough, and that becomes kind of your steady, your thing, how you view the world, your perspective. I was with a friend last weekend in Chicago, and we were discussing generations. We were discussing, he feels that life is harder for people today than our grandparents' generation. Like, not physically. Like, my great-grandma died at age 38 of a heart attack. And like the manual labor that jobs required put a lot of stress. But then there's also things that they probably ate healthier. But because of the internet and all this stimulation, in life, there's all these moving parts to organize, and that was his kind of justification. Life is a lot more complex today, and that can put a lot of stress on a mind. And again, it brings us back to why we do this. Hopefully you find it helpful. I do. Been doing stuff like this since 2018, and sometimes I get, a lot of times actually, I feel so detached from everyone else because I feel like life is kind of easy in the way of making decisions and reacting to things. It's quite simple, and I think 99% of other people struggle with that. Maybe that's why you're here. You're listening to this. But if you do this stuff repeatedly, you recognize patterns in people, in the world, in nature, and just become aware of everything. and you feel so engaged and so in control of your life. You feel so engaged in your own life because every situation you approach, you understand and are aware that the decisions and actions you take like move the world. They like move your life. It's like a video game. And so a lot of times I feel detached from normal, and I see so much struggle, and then having conversations with people about doom and gloom stuff. Or overhearing, and it just like drains my energy. And it's like, just do this stuff. That's because it's hard. It's hard. We're like, sitting here for 5 minutes, was that hard or was it easy for you? I mean, think about that. Just like sitting still is hard for people today, when like in the past, I'm sure that wasn't even a thought. Think about music. No recorded music. If you're out in the middle of the country here, the only music is nature, or maybe someone has a fiddle or something, or flute. And people are like, man, that guy's jamming. To hear music be so beautiful. Now we just have everything. We become ungrateful. So I think it's important to practice gratitude. Sorry, getting away from these questions a little bit. Let's go back to gratitude. What are we grateful that exists right now? I think about running clean water, indoor plumbing, washing machines, microwaves a lot lately. I feel appreciative of that technology. There's so many things that people didn't have before, and everything would take so much more time and labor. My pen's not working too good. Someone was telling me this not the other day, this was a couple years ago, how much they love over-the-counter medication. Like, it's amazing that you can just buy this product and, like is it Benadryl or something? Something with allergies or whatever. I went through this whole winter buying no medicine, I think. Is that right? I don't know. Here's a question for you. How do you organize your receipts and stuff? Life expenses. This is something I'm just abysmal at. And I have thoughts that I want to improve at it, but I don't exert the energy and effort to do it. So then I'm stuck with all these loose papers stuffed in drawers and closets. I'm really impressed with people who can organize things like that about life. They can tell you how many times they filled up for gas 7 years ago and what the average cost was that they filled up at. That's some cool information to have. Or I got sick this amount of days 6 years ago? How does that compare with this year? All these ebbs and flows of life. I wonder if AI could help me with that. If I upload receipts, it could probably organize that information. It could probably read that information and organize it for me. So I was thinking about receipts. Every time I get a receipt, take a photo of it, throw it away. Then upload it and organize it. Then you have to merge. If you don't have a paper receipt, then you got to use this, bank account statement, and then it gets a little trickier when there's more entities in place, or it's more friction, it's more things, so the energy isn't straightforward. All right, what are we curious about? I'm curious about this country album. I uploaded it today around 11:30 a.m., I want to say. It's not up yet. Depends. Like, if I use a source to upload and organize everything, and then it distributes it to, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music, all these different things. Spotify seems to be the first that it goes through, and last time it took 3 to 4 hours, maybe less than 3 hours. I was really impressed with, not the last time, Smoke and Light, the album called Smoke and Light that I made with my friend Felipe. Mexican metal. Very, very interesting sound. But no, I just want it up for tonight when we have the campfire to play a country album that I made out here in the country. Okay, last question. What are we energized for this upcoming week? Yeah. Over the next week, just practice taking a little bit more time each day to just sit and just be. Breathe, like we've been practicing. You don't have to close your eyes. You don't have to count in and out, whatever. Just breathe it in. Breathe life in, baby. And just be grateful. Start with gratitude and patience. And on that note, thank you for being here. This is important. If each person did this, the world would be remarkable. More than it is now. So keep at it, and even when it seems like nothing's happening, be patient. And then you'll realize in some of those moments how vastly different things are, like a light switch. It's very nothing. It seems like nothing. And then boom, everything. everything. It's cool. So thanks again for being here. We'll see you next week. Inspire the future.